Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Cashers round of the 2013 ITRC Super Senior Classic. This is Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith live at the International Training and Research Center here at the International Bowling Campus in Arlington, Texas. After 2 long, grueling days of qualifying, we're down to just 8 players here at the inaugural Super Senior Classic. 8 players will bowl 4 games. Pinfall carrying over from the 2 days of qualifying. And then we'll cut to the top 5 for this afternoon's stepladder finals. So looking forward to an exciting morning here at the training center. Our leader, Willie Wells from Plano, Texas via Las Vegas. Second place, Kerry Painter, also Las Vegas, headed to Fairbanks, Alaska soon. So take a little travel money with him perhaps. And then the twins, Paul and Pete McCordick, 1 pin apart. And they turned 60 on the opening day of this event, so they got in just under the wire there. And that's that. So Aaron Smith, here we are, bright and early.
Bright and early indeed, Matt. And got another beautiful day here in Arlington, Texas. We got some great bowling for you. Right now on our feature pair, we have Don Blatchford out of Santa Monica, California. Curtis Dornoff at Maricopa, Arizona. And on 11 and 12, Bill Keenan out of Orlando. And Dick Selgo Jr. out of Arkansas, Ohio. As Matt mentioned, we're taking the top 5 after 4 additional games today into the step ladders. And the top 4 spots out to a pretty big lead. Willie Wells at 27-35 after 12 games. He's got about a 26 pin lead over Kerry Painter. Paul and Pete McCordick right around there as well. And then there's a little drop off. Don Blatchford finds himself 50 pins inside the cut for the 5th spot. And there's a big drop off for the last few spots. Curtis Dornath finds himself 92 pins out of the final spot, so he certainly has his work cut out for him in our 4 games today.
So just one bowler on each lane. These 4 games are going to go pretty quick. Then these guys will get a break before coming back for the step ladder at 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 here in Texas. So if you're nearby and you want to come by and see the battle for the title, 1:30 Central Time. Plenty of room. Got the bleachers rolled out. Our spot right here next to us.
We have nothing but strikes so far in 9 and 10. Both Don and Curtis 4 for 4. If you'd like to take a look at the standings or follow along with the live scoring, go to bowl.com/supersenior and click on 2013 results and find all that information right there. And number 5 for Don Blatchford, regular on the PBA 50 Tour.
All right, this is not match play. It's just 4 games, straight up pinfall, added to their 12 game totals from the last 2 days.
It's the first errant shot we've seen on 9 and 10. Curtis got that ball a little bit left. Leaves the baby split. Dick Selgo covers up the 4-pin. He was the cut with a 12-game score of 25-12. So a 209 average.
Remember that time we shot 209?
No.
No.
2011 maybe?
That's why we're back here watching the good bowlers.
Nice shot by Bill Keenan over on 12 out of Orlando.
So we got the best of the best here. The 28-player field whittled down to the top 8. 1-300 game this week. Paul McCordick, 7-time PBA regional champ, got it done on 11 and 12, the final game of qualifying yesterday. Ended up 1 pin ahead of his brother.
Pete had been leading most of the day. Had a bad game on his final pair. Allowed Billy Wells to move past him, along with Kerry Painter and his brother Paul. Paul and Pete bowling on the same pair, once again not against each other right now, on 5 and 6. I'm sure they've done that quite a few times over the years. So look at Don Blatchford here, 6 in a row. Looks like Don's using a Storm Vivid, a little polish on it. Playing fairly directly on this 4140 Sports Certified oil pattern. Never a doubt. Don was 5th after qualifying. had a bit of a cushion between him and 6th place, 50 pins. Looking to add on to that here. Tough break for Keenan there. The 810 standing on that shot that almost got there.
Yeah, these guys keep striking like this, it's going to be a fast 4 games. Then they're going to have some time to get out and about and enjoy Arlington on this fine Friday morning. Maybe a stop at Einstein's for a coffee and a bagel. Six Flags not open.
I don't know if 6 Flags would be the right move to get prepare yourself for a stepladder final.
Get the blood flowing or the lunch flowing.
We got the Hall of Fame right here. Walk through history. Here's Don Blatchford. 8 for 8. Right here live on Bowl TV. This is about the time Eric Pearson, who was in with us yesterday during qualifying, predicted Paul McCormick. Said he wasn't missing.
Ah. Well, you're 50-50. Either you call it or you don't. If they do it, if they don't do it, you're a jinx. If they do it, the jinx is broken. So, keep throwing great shots like that, though. There's no doubt. Just trying to make sure he gets in the top 5.
Nice shot by Dick Selgo Jr. Bounced back nicely from the split. Looking down at our other games going on right now. Tournament leader Willie Wells still has 240s out there. Kerry Painter, 250s still possible. These guys are in the 8th frame right now. Paul McCormick on a little bit better pace than Pete right now. Pete's got hasn't opened, but he's working on a 3-bagger right now. Paul still has 250s out there as well. They're in the 7th. Until I said that, Paul's now in the 230s. Brings the 2 forward. Curtis Dornath. Big first shot in the 10th there. Catches the nice break. He can get the next 2 for 222. third day in a row these competitors have competed on this 41-foot oil pattern. Gotta think most of them are pretty comfortable. At least know what to expect.
Once you get to this part of the game, you got your equipment pretty well figured out. And you got the best of the best, breaking the lanes down together, opening them up a little bit. Should see potentially some higher scores today than we did later in the day. First couple days, except of course for Paul McCordick. Is he the only lefty in the field?
I want to say no. He's definitely the only left-hander left. Curtis Dorn finishes 221. Right now, Matt, all eyes are on lane 10. Don Blatchford, front 9, stepping up in the 10th. The light mixer gets number 10.
Blatchford fifth, Blatchford fifth coming in, plus 250. 90 ahead of sixth place. A nice potential cushion here.
Oh, that one.
Just a little bit slow on that one. 3.610. So his run will come to an end. 287 with the spare.
Certainly a nice way to kick off the day, though. .287 for Don Blatchford. Kerry Painter, round 3 and 4 in the books at 244.
Dormith was sixth at plus 158, so Blatchford just picked up another 60 plus pins on him. And quite a few pins on 7th and 8th place. So the top 5 definitely creating a little separation.
Dick Selgo Jr. in the books, 208. So yeah, it's tough to make up ground when people ahead of you striking as much as these guys are. Tournament leader Willie Wells, 236.
Willie's actually going to lose a few pins that game. On Painter, not too many though, only 8.
Pete McCordick in the books, 242. Brother Paul stepping up in the 10th. He has 236 out there with all 3.
Didn't like that one. Looks like maybe he even got stuck on his hand a little bit, but leaves the 8 pin. Possible 216 for the Southpaw.
Bill Keenan finishes up 204. So all of our competitors above 200 here in game 1 of 4. But the top 5 really really doing some work here. Blatchford's performance. Might be enough to move him up a spot, at least into 4th.
Staff here this week at the ITRC is very quick with the score, so we'll have an update for you in just a minute. If you want to see how things unfolded the first 2 days, you can visit bull.com/super senior. And then you'll see our expertly written recap about yesterday. Willie Wells, Kerry Painter, the first day leader. Format very simple, 6 games of qualifying on Wednesday, 6 games on Thursday. Cut to the top 8 after 12, and now 4 more games for the step ladder.
All right, our next round will feature Curtis Dornath and tournament leader Willie Wells on 11 and 12. And McCordick brothers trying to figure out which one goes where. We'll get Pete this game. Pete McCordick and Bill Keenan on 9 and 10.
Pete, the PBA's Southwest Regional Director. He's used to watching all the bowling. Now he's getting it done here at the Super Senior Classic.
So our first look today at Willie Wells. Willie works for Visionary Bowling Products. And many of you might recognize him from your time at the Open Championships this past year in Reno. Willie was in the booth with Frankie May, helping promote Visionary and Motive. Had a few brands in there. Nice shot by Bill Keenan to kick off game 2. Here's Curtis Dornath looking for a double. Still waiting for the scores here, but Curtis rotating 6th place, still finds himself right around 130 or so out of the step ladders. He's gonna need a lot of strikes here in the final 3 games. That's the way to do it. 3-bag. The way some of these guys are bowling, I'm not even sure that'll be enough. Probably need some help along the way too.
Well, when you only have 8 guys and you're cutting down to 5, I mean, of course you don't want to be one of those 3 guys fighting for it, but the reason they're among the top 8 is because they were the best this week, and it's probably not going to change today.
Tough break for Willie there. Pocket 7-10. Although on 12, we've seen some We've seen some bounce out of the back of 12 this week. So Thomas, I believe it was Ream. I'm going to double check here. Thomas Ream, yeah, our 11th place finisher, picked up the big 4 on lane 12 yesterday here live on Bull TV. Bouncing the 610 out of the back. Willie will take the 1. And move on. Let's look at Pete McCordick up on 10. Pete, no stranger to the lights. One of 22 bowlers in PBA history to have a televised perfect game. But Paul beat him to the live stream 300 club, so. Pete's still gonna have a few more games to get there. ITRC Super Senior Classic, all competitors had to be USBC members, at least 60 and above. We have a question in the chat room. So we got some of the best. Tournament Willie Wells, I believe, was 65 years, or is 65 years old.
Well, when the McCordicks arrived here, they were not 60 years old. And then when it was showtime, that was it. Opening day. 60th birthday.
They are the youngsters of the group. They're now 60 and 2 days old. Front 5 for Curtis Dornan.
Trying to get in there, but the top 5 making it very difficult, although Paul McCordick struggling down on 3 and 4. Already a different ball than he finished the last game with.
Is that back-to-back opens, it looks like?
He's got 44 in the 3rd. So he's got a good cushion. But when we're striking down here, it can disappear quickly.
Did look like Paul fell from 3rd to 5th after game 1. Don Blatchford, of course. The front 10 here on 9 and 10 in game 1. Moving ahead of him, making up 51 pins real quickly that way. I think more than anything else, we're going to see a lot of jockeying for position for the step ladders here. Willie Wells trying to hold on to that number 1 seed. First double of the game for Pete McCordick. Curtis keeps striking, 6 in a row.
Do appreciate everybody joining us. Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith live at the ITRC here in Arlington, Texas. Day 3, the Cashers round of the 2013 ITRC Super Senior Classic. Dornath up on lane 11. working on the front 6. Trying desperately to get into the top 5. Shots like that, it's gonna help.
It actually looked a little left off his hand. He was happy that held that much. Able to get it out. At this point, he'll take all the hits he can get.
Unfortunately for Curtis, everybody in the top 5 beat him by at least 20 pins in the opening game or so.
He got Paul McCordick by a few pins, but Paul had him by 142. Paul is not striking down on 3 and 4 right now. 63 in the 4th, working on a spare.
And Aaron knows that because he's got fancy technology. I was just trying to squint and see all the way down there from here. And if you're curious about how that happens, I'll tell you all about it.
Absolutely, Matt. If the bowler you would like to follow is not on one of our feature pairs right now, you can go to bowl.com/supersenior. Click on 2013 results, and right at the top of that page, there's in very big letters, live scoring. Click here. By clicking on that, you'll get the monitors to show up on each of the lanes here at the ITRC, and you can pick which one you want to follow along with. Considering how thick my glasses already are, I couldn't squint and see that far. So very helpful for us behind the live stream booth. And for you folks at home, checking on your favorite competitor, Paul McCordick, open in the 6th, he has 90. Curtis Dornath stepping up in the 8th frame.
Looks like the new scores are up. We'll go ahead and get that here on the split screen after this shot from Dornath. In a uncooperative ring 10.
That'll end his string of strikes at 7, but
there's your standings. Willie Wells, plus 356. Pete McCordick, plus 344. Paul McCordick in 3rd still at plus 343. Kerry Painter, plus 325. Blatchford a distant plus 258 in 5th. That doesn't look right, though. It really doesn't look right. We'll go check on this. Listen to the sweet sounds of Aaron Smith.
yeah, we'll double check those, be sure we're getting you the right numbers. Curtis Dornath up to 9th. Gets the 10 to cooperate there. Big strike to set up the 10th. Still has 279 out there. Looking to run down a spot in the top 5. Keenan shot's going to be wide there. Big double by tournament leader Willie Wells out of Plano, Texas. We'll get ready to step up in the 10th here. So it's 225 up on the board. right, looks like we have the standings figured out here. It's looking a little better. We got the right information up there. Matt Cannizzaro is back.
Well, all you can say is sometimes technology can let you down. And we sat here and I read it, knowing that it didn't sound right, but the words were coming out of my mouth and not processing. A simple operator error in the scoring department. And now we are correct. And if you were following along at home with Mr. Smith, his calculations were pretty spot on. There it is. Willie Wells on top, 371. Kerry Painter, 353. Pete McCordick now in third, 342. Blatchford up to fourth place, 337. Paul McCordick struggling, especially here in game number 2 at plus 317, but a good distance coming into this game at least. Over sixth place.
138.
Curtis Dornath is going to shoot in the 270s. McCordick is going to lose 100 pins here, perhaps. Just going to close that gap up. It's going to be an exciting last 2 games for that 5th spot.
Paul's stepping up in the 10th here, working on a 3-bagger. Looks like a bucket. So 278. Fantastic game for Dornath here. Most Pete McCordick can, or excuse me, Paul McCordick can end up with here in game 2, 186. Looks like Paul covered up the bucket there. So just like that, thought there was a little bit too much distance between everybody. They showed us. Tournament leader Willie Wells move over to 9 and 10. He finished with 201. Looks like he'll still retain the lead. It's a tough carry for Pete McCordick here. Most he can shoot is 205. Don Blatchford still rolling along. He's in the 250s. And Kerry Painter can go for 206, so scoring pace drops a little bit here. All of a sudden we got a ball game. Curtis Dornath gained 92 pins on 5th place Paul McCordick. Now just a 46 pin difference for the final spot.
You said we've got a ball game. Well, it'd be an exciting finish for the 5th spot at least. The top 4 pretty tight. Essentially bowling for seeding at this point.
Actually, Matt, how about that? Could it be? Don't trust my math here, but Don Blatchford might have just leapfrogged the entire field going 250s.
Well, going 287, 255 will do that for you.
Starting the day 50 pins out of 4th.
Saving it for the right time. It's like hitting the nitrous. So Blatchford on overdrive here in the cashers round. And Paul McCordick just trying to hold on for dear life.
Matt, I didn't know you were such a gearhead.
Fast and the Furious. It's like the media office. Things are going down. Got the video, the story. Get it out to the world. Not saying there's nitrous in the office.
All right, looks like we are done with game 2. So folks will be moving. We'll switch them on and off real quick. We'll get ready for game 3. 2 games left to go to determine the top 5. I must say I did not anticipate Mr. Blatchford making the move that quickly, but
You gotta believe.
that's a fantastic showing through 2.
The crowd already growing in person and online. Thanks everybody for joining us. We are halfway through the cashers round here at the 2013 ITRC Super Senior Classic. 2 more games will determine the top 5 for this afternoon's stepladder. Now it's a battle for the top seed. As we talked to second round leader Willie Wells yesterday, in the stepladder format, the best place to be, of course, is number 1, because you're guaranteed at least the second place money. Of course, you don't want to think about that. You're here to win, but it's good to know. But at the same time, some may argue that being second or third is nice as well. Get a look, get a game under your belt, get warmed up, get comfortable with the championship pair.
How about this group for game 3 here? Get the McCordick siblings on 11 and 12, Paul and Pete. Paul will be on the left lane, starting here. Then on 9 and 10, Willie Wells and Kerry Painter are day 2 leader and day 1 leaders, respectively. Let's see if Paul can find the magic on 11 and 12 again. This was the pair he shot 300 to finish qualifying yesterday. As soon as we get some results after game 2, we'll be sure to pop them up on the screen for everybody. Pete, excuse me, gets a nice break, tripping the 4-9. Start off game 3.
If you missed any of the previous action from the Super Senior Classic, you can go back and enjoy. Just go to youtube.com/BowlTV and you'll find that and more. All of our great live streaming and video action archived there for your enjoyment at your convenience. You can also check out the recent USBC Senior Queens, Lucy Sandlin, picking up her second Senior Queens title in an exciting championship match right here at the ITRC. All that and more on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/BowlTV. If you're curious about the next live stream broadcast, you can go to bowl.com/livestream or just find the main page. The schedule will be on the bottom right hand side. After we're done here today, we'll pack up the gear and Lucas Wiseman will head to Siberia the tundras of Russia to cover the Kubica AMF World Cup. If that's not your thing, Aaron Smith headed to Las Vegas in December. Some collegiate action. Don't miss it. If you're curious about when a broadcast is starting or what's coming up or the latest headlines, find us on Twitter or Facebook. Twitter.com/USBC.
And it looks like we don't have the standings up on the screens yet, but here online we see Don Blatchford moving into the lead, 20 pins ahead of Willie Wells. Pete McCordick still in third. Kerry Painter moving into fourth, and Paul McCordick fifth. Curtis Dornan, 46 out of the final spot. Bill Keenan and Dick Selgo Jr. fighting for 7th and 8th right now. They're about 100 pins behind Curtis.
Stepladder will be at 2:30 Eastern today, 1:30 here in Texas. If you're nearby, spend your lunch break watching bowling. Fairly good chance you're going to see a McCordick, maybe two. Scores are updated. Blatchford on top, plus 392. Willie Wells second, plus 372. Pete McCordick, 345. There's a look for you at home. Paul hanging on to that 5th spot, but Curtis Dornan trying to make a move.
Through 4, Dornith started game 3 with a strike before leaving split. And then he's doubled since then, so looking long picture. 268 still out there. Paul McCordick stepping up on 12 with the first 3 strikes. I think he really likes 11 and 12 here, Matt.
Ha, that is true. That's where he shot 300 yesterday. 16 in a row for Paul McCordick on 11 and 12.
Kerry Painter with a nice cover. Converting the washout. Stay clean here. Stuff 9-pin. My goodness. Paul said he threw it too well.
Yeah, he can't throw it that well.
Willie Wells going high, leaving 3-6-10.
.107 pins separate 6th and 7th place. So it looks like a 6-horse race. Two games to go.
Tough break for Wells there. He hit the keep in, just a little too much on it. Able to get the 6 to take out the 10. Here's Pete McCordick on 12. Never a doubt. He's got 4 out of 5 here in game 3. Well, right now, if they both struck out, Pete would win this game by 1 pin. Even though they're not bowling against each other, they probably kind of are. Sibling rivalry, if you will.
You think that still happens when you're 60?
I don't see why not.
I don't know. I remember sibling rivalry, and it's a lot of work. It's a good motivator for sure.
In the pit for Kerry Painter, PBA 50 Tour titleist. Teamed up with Tom Adcock not too long ago in August to take home the PBA 50 Super Senior Doubles Classic presented by Brunswick. Good break for Painter. They're just leaving the 2-pin. Knew he got that one wide off his hand. Was hoping it would recover in time. Paul McCork delivers in the 7th. Curtis Dornath still striking. Still has 268 out there. Paul still has 279, so it's a tough game sometimes. And Pete gets the 10 out late.
We'll have both of them on camera next game, right? Paul on 9 and 10, and Curtis on 11 and 12. No?
No, Curtis was just on 11 and 12. He'll be moving over to 5 and 6.
Fair enough. Another strike for Curtis. Another 7-10 for Willie Wells.
Goodness. I've seen a lot of them on 9 and 10. Pete had 2 last game. There's 6 in a row for Pete McCordick. Only have about 50 pins separating the first 4 spots, so Paul mixes them up. Not to be outdone. McCordick brothers are all right. each with one miss so far in game number 3 here.
They've been that good for a long time, going back to the early 1970s. Always relevant.
Pete's stepping up on lane 12 here in the 9th for 7 in a row. So a little light. Leaves the 2-5. Tournament leader Don Blatchford. Shoot, 226 if he strikes out the 10th here. A little further ahead than 9 and 10 right now. Here on the 8th frame. And 11 and 12, the McCordick brothers will be starting the 10th frame. With Pete leading off on lane 11.
Really well, it's wide right. Really well is headed for 3rd place now. Pete McCordick gonna go around him.
Pete's in the 240s right now. One more strike. Give him the 250s.
Terry Painter also striking a little further back, but
Curtis Dornath has a good game, but doesn't look like he's going to gain any ground. Strike on his fill ball for 247. That's 258 for Pete McCordick. That'll move him to the plus 403. Don Blatchford, our tournament leader, is stepping up in the 10th. Working on a spare, you can shoot 226. I think you got the 10 out there.
we've seen a lot of that ball the last few months.
It's actually not the one you think it is, man.
Oh, it's not. It's a look-alike.
That is not the Roto Grip Disturb. That is actually a Storm Vivid. The only reason I know that was I was taking a look when Don was over here for game 1. So I actually thought it was a Disturbed as well. That's what Curtis has been throwing, though.
Well, looks like there's 2 of those on the rack.
Terry Painter stepping up in the 10th. 3 strikes to get in the 250s. There's number 1. Paul McCordick's string of strikes ends. He can convert the 5-6 here for 267.
So his average on this pair is going to drop quite a bit.
Substantially. put some more distance in between him and Curtis Dornan. .256 finish for Kerry Painter. And man, this top 5 is just shuffling left and right. If I was going to guess the top 5 going into the final game, it would be Blatchford, Pete McCordick, Kerry Painter, Paul McCordick. Willie Wells dropping all the way to 5th.
It's been a game of leapfrog so far today through 3 games, so it's going to be tight going into game 4.
Curtis Dornan is going to be at plus 302 after this game. He's going to have his work cut out for him. He'll just be chasing a different guy now. That spare, Willie Wells. Can strike on the fill ball here for 174. How about that? That switch of position, Curtis Dornan actually closer than he was last game by 2 pins. It looks like he's 44 pins out of the cut now. He's gone on tear these past 2. And fitting as it should be, Curtis and Willie will be on the same pair on 5 and 6.
Battling for the final spot. Drama.
Drama indeed here at the International Training and Research Center for the inaugural Super Senior Classic. We still got some bowling finishing up on 5 and 6. Dick Selgo Jr. and Bill Keenan. So as they finish up their 10th frame, everyone else is kind of waiting. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm Aaron Smith, joined by the one and only Matt Cannizzaro. We're here live in Arlington, Texas. This tournament started on Wednesday. 28 competitors. 6 games of qualifying. Wednesday, followed by another 6 on Thursday. After that, we cut to the top 8, which was the cashers round, excuse me, which you are seeing right now. And to determine our stepladder finals and the top 5 spots, there are 4 additional games today. We just finished game 3. Getting ready to start game 4, and it has been a roller coaster of a day in the top 5. Starting today, Willie Wells was our tournament leader. He's dropped all the way to 5th. Coming into today, Don Blatchford was 5th. He's leading right now. As soon as we get some updated standings, we'll be sure to get those on the screen for you. It's Kerry Painter and Don Blatchford are in 11 and 12. Painter starting on the left. Looks like the new Storm Bite. This carry delivers a strike. There's a strike for tournament leader Don Blatchford on 12. Our other feature pair, 9 and 10, will feature Dick Selgo Jr. and Paul McCordick. Shot wide for Blatchford, leaving it 2-5. In game 1 of the Cashers round, we saw Don throw the front 10 strikes before leaving a 3-6-10 as he quickly moved up the standings into the top spot. He'll try to hold on here. Find himself one win away from the Super Senior Classic title.
And a sweet trophy. I saw it earlier.
It is a great trophy.
I haven't seen a prize fund though, to be honest with you.
It's up on the board over there.
We'll have to check that out and know what's on the line here at the ITRC.
Online we have some updated standings, not yet up on the big board. Don Blatchford plus 408 is 5 pins ahead of Pete McCordick, plus 403. Kerry Painter's right there at plus 395, so only 13 pins separate our top 3 right now. Paul McCordick moving up into 4th with the big 260 game, plus 370. And Willie Wells holding on to the 5th spot, plus 346. Curtis Dorneth, plus 302, 44 pins out there, bowling on 5 and 6 right now. Willie has an early double, while Curtis has gone strike spare. Kerry Painter, front 3.
We're up to 72 viewers online. Thanks for joining us. We're building momentum towards an exciting afternoon. Stepladder finals, 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central. If you're nearby, looking for something to do on your lunch hour, come on out. We'll save you a seat.
Keep you up to date on Pete McCordick as well as Curtis and Willie as things start to take shape here. Get a little bit clearer picture of our top 5. Certainly changed much more than I anticipated today, but we've seen some big scores. Don Blatchford going 758 out of the gates.
We didn't want it to be boring for you.
Never.
We didn't come down here and set all this gear up just to see 4 games of practice. We want to see drama. Fight for what you want. Throwing shots like that.
here in a second. Certainly home can take a look. But there's the scoop.
It's really 5 guys have a shot at the top spot right now with 1 game to go. Willie Wells a little bit bigger hill to climb, but at least if you're a betting man, it's a 3-player race for sure. Everybody with at least an outside chance at that top seed.
Pete McCordick feeling it way down there on 3 and 4. He's got the front 4.
McCordick's just 5 pins behind Blatchford. Here's got the pen and paper out and the calculator.
And we'll try to keep you up to date. And if you want to follow along, go to bowl.com/supersenior. 2013 results and live scoring. You can follow right there on 3 and 4. Tabs on Pete McCordick. Looks like he got number 5 there. If we want to see the race for the final spot, click on lanes 5 and 6 and see Curtis Dorna and Willie Wells. An open frame by Curtis. In the 4th frame, unable to convert the baby split.
Curtis looks like 64 pins out of 5th. Unless that's a 4. But
that is a 4.
All right, so after this, I'm going to go to the eye doctor. And then be back in time for this afternoon step ladder. So 44 pins. Separating 5th and 6th right now.
Blatchford converts the 10 pin. Looked to be a pretty good shot. Nice break for Willie Wells over at 5 and 6. Getting the 10 pin out, only leaving a 2. Paul McCordick's first strike on 9 and 10. Great shot by Blatchford there. Hoping to hold on to the number 1 seed. Tough if Pete McCordick keeps striking over on 3 and 4. 6 in a row. Kerry Painter also in the mix. It's now 13 pins coming into this final game of the Cashers round. That did not sound good for Pete McCordick on 3.
It's like the big 4 from here.
He'll take his 2 and regroup after that. Still has 260s out there. Kerry Painter feeling it, trying to take advantage. Cannot stress enough the importance of being that top seed, only having to win one match to claim the title. Finish no worse than second. Blatchford gets all 10 to cooperate. In a crazy scenario, if we want to get ahead of ourselves, Pete McCordick can still punch out for 262. Don Blatchford has 259 out there. Kerry Painter 279.
That's right, Kerry Painter in the driver's seat right now.
Blatchford mixes them up.
Blatchford not going away.
Get on the horse ball. Looks like Curtis Dorneth's runs might be coming to an end here. Really well staying clean. Curtis unable to put together a big string of strikes here in game 4. Kerry Painter delivers. Just looking all over the place, Matt. Something going on everywhere. Pete McCordick's back up.
Uh-oh, Greek Church.
Wow.
Back-to-back splits. About to take himself out of the running for the top seed. Paul McCordick not doing much better right here in front of us. He was 33 behind his brother. He's staying put. Willie Wells having a decent game. Could jump into the 4th spot.
Great shot by Painter there. Running it out. Getting the 10 to fall.
Painter and Blatchford 13 pins apart coming into this game. Blatchford a possible 259. Painter 279, so he could go ahead by 7. But it all depends on Blatchford here. Put the pressure on him, working on a 3-bagger, 9th frame. Never a doubt for Blatchford.
These guys are tough, Matt.
Willie Wells, tough spare, 3-6, 9-10. This is not your typical house condition.
Not by any
Hook
means.
to the right, hold in the middle. This is a 3-to-1 ratio, sport compliant lane condition. These guys are making good shots and still throwing a lot of strikes. We're not seeing the high backswings and the booming hooks. This is classic styles. Straight and smooth. Straighter is greater.
Blatchford's first shot of the 10th. All 10. Great shot.
Blatchford runs it out.
That one's very wide. The 2457. With the conversion, he'll be at 245. Kerry Painter can go 9 spare strike for 258. That would be a tie, Matt.
Well, flagging down Eric Pearson. What do we do?
Blatchford gets 3 for 244. All right, folks, here we go. Kerry Painter leaves the 2-8. Tie possibility is still here. First things first. He needs to make the spare.
Always a challenging spare, especially on these sport conditions.
Never a doubt.
He doesn't look worried.
All right, folks, very simple. Strike for Kerry Painter. We have a tie for first. Anything less, Don Blatchford, your tournament leader going into the stepladder final. Here we go.
Ah.
And he gets all 10. The dramatics here at the ITRC. So a tie at the top of the standings. Tim Robin coming over. Might have to throw something at him and get his attention. All right, as we figure this out, we'll look at some other scores. Pete McCordick finishing at 219. That'll put him at plus 422. Willie Wells finishes 225. That'll put him at 371. These scores, of course, unofficial. Should not trust my math. Pete McCordick strikes there in the ninth. He's going to lose a few pins. Looks like, or excuse me, Paul. Looks like Paul's going to be our fifth place finisher here. Willie's going to move ahead of him. Paul was at plus 370 coming into this game. With 3 strikes, the most he can finish with is 193. Here's his first shot of the night. So right now, folks, looks like our first match when we return for the stepladder final at 2:30 p.m. Eastern here, live on Bull TV. We will see Willie Wells out of Plano, Texas, take on Paul McCordick. Paul's out of Sugar Land, Texas. The winner will advance to take on Pete McCordick, Paul's twin brother. And from there, we still have to figure out who's going to be the one, who's going to be the 2 seed.
Sounds like Tim Robbins said 9th and 10th frame roll off.
What a performance by Don Blatchford today. 50 pins out of 4th to start. Averages 250 plus. Shoots more than 1,000 for his 4 games. To move all the way up to either first or second. Dick Selgo Jr. finishing up here. All right, folks. The bowling is on standstill for right now.
It's an awkward silence as we wait to find out what's going to happen.
Once again, the scenario is worked out. Kerry Painter, Don Blatchford, both at plus 452 for the top seed here at the ITRC Super Senior Classic. Stepladder finals will be coming up shortly, starting at 2:30 p.m. Eastern.
It's going to be on 9 and 10, looks like. Maybe, maybe not.
Are you going back? Well, I mean, wait a minute. I got to work first at that one. This is mine. Okay, and I told another way.
Seems our tied competitors are nowhere in sight. I guess they're verifying scores right now to make sure it is indeed a tie.
I guess that's true. That's the first thing you need to do is make sure it is a tie. Don't trust the math of the guys with the headsets.
Very solid point. On the bright side, now we can talk as loud as we want.
Sounds like you want me to buy you one, and I will.
Kerry Painter back on the lanes. waiting for the news.
Lucas Wiseman on his way down, doesn't want to miss a minute of this roll off or coin flip.
Dwayne Hagan calling over Kerry Painter. Don Blatchford already down there.
Looks like rock, paper, scissors
Best of 3.
to determine the number 1 seed at the inaugural Super Senior Classic. The most unique tournament format. Place is intimate, 14 lanes for competition here this week at the ITRC.
All right, we got both competitors walking back down here. I heard 5 minutes of practice from Dwayne Hagan.
And they're going way down.
It's over to 5 and 6.
We're going to turn the camera that way as best we can. Be a 9 and 10.
Good morning. I think so. You too.
Thanks for joining us this morning.
See you after a while.